Hey guys, it's Keegan with Seared and Smoked. Thanks for tuning in. And today we're going to be having some fun with the deluxe kettle pizza setup for the Weber kettle. I got a 22-inch. You can use it with an 18-inch, but today we're going to be using it with a 22-inch kettle. And we're going to be cranking out some good pizzas. I've used it a few times, so I'm confident I can show you the perfect setup to get some great pizzas. And you can crank out quite a few in about an hour. So come along for the ride. Look forward to showing you everything you need to know about this. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first I'm just going to show you what the setup's like, and then we'll go through cooking the whole process. And at the end of this video, I'm going to just give you my general thoughts about the kettle pizza and any recommendations I'd have. So let's go ahead and check out the setup. So as you can see, you got your kettle dome that just goes on top. And then it does come, the deluxe pizza kit comes with this nice peel. It's very thick aluminum, so should last a long time. So that's pretty nice. It also comes with one pizza stone. So nice, I think it's around 16 inches or so, but good size, that should work well. And then the main piece being this top aluminum piece, or stainless steel perhaps, that holds the grate. So this is just holding the standard 22-inch grate that comes with your kettle. And place that sucker on there. Just goes inside the rim, and then you got your opening there with this little gauge on there for temperature as well. So the temperature gauge is handy just so you can kind of see what it gets up to. It goes up to 700 degrees. So you know, I think last few times I've used it, it actually tops out at that, so I'm sure it gets a little hotter in there. One handy thing to have during this process is an infrared heat thermometer. So you can just point this at anything you want, and it'll give you a temperature reading. So what this is handy for is when we start cooking, we'll use it to check the pizza stone. So handy for whether you're using this kettle pizza oven or some other pizza oven. I'd recommend one of these suckers. They're nice. It's like, I think it was like 12 bucks on Amazon. I'll put the link in the show notes. So pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and set it up for cooking. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about getting this started. First, talk about the things that we're using. Number one, you gotta have your favorite beer. So today we got Blonde Fatale from Peachtree Brewery, Knoxville, Iowa. My favorite craft beer of all time. Peachtree, if you're listening, please sponsor me. This is not I'm not sponsored by them yet, but I'd love to be. All right, let's get back to business. So the next thing we need is really big lump charcoal. So this is Fogo charcoal. You can find them online at their website or on Amazon. I'll put links below. But the bigger the better, and I have not found anything better than the charcoal that they supply. So you can see some of these pieces are really big. Some of them are even bigger than this. And we basically just have this nice setup in kind of a C shape here. So this is where the front of the mouth of the kettle pizza oven is going to be, and then all the charcoal kind of in C shape. And then after we get things going, we're going to put a couple small oak logs on there. So that's going to provide more heat as we go through the process and get this thing really hot. But first things first, just get the charcoal going. So we're just gonna get one small chimney of small chunks burning. And we'll just get this little tumbleweed fire starter going. Get our little small chimney going. And then we're gonna sprinkle this along the back. Put the lid on without the kettle pizza setup to get some heat generated in there. And then we're gonna put everything together. So we'll check back here in probably 10 minutes or so after the charcoal's going. All right, so we're back. We got our coals started. Now we just dumped that all over our little C-shaped area of big coals. So we got the little coals, just getting the big coals started. And I put a lid over this for about 15 or 20 minutes just to get everything kind of going. get the unit heated up a little bit, and before I put the wood on. So we'll just cover this up. We'll have the bottom vents full open for this situation, and then we'll get the kettle pizza all put together here in about 20 minutes. Put the kettle pizza assembly back on the kettle. Whoops, forgot one step. Before we do that, we want to put our wood chunks on. And one thing nice about the kettle pizza setup is that it allows you to fill basically the whole kettle. So the grate isn't recessed, it's on the top, so you can fill that whole sucker up. So we got our oak wood chunks on. Got kind of a nice C shape there, so we're good to put our pizza stone in. And I put the pizza stone in kind of pushed towards the front, just because in the back it gets crazy hot. So this way, I think it gives you a little more uniform, temperature control. So now we're just going to put the top back on. And the bottom vent is still wide open, but we're going to close the top vent. So the top vent's closed. And then now we're just ready to make our pizzas, and then we'll watch the temperature on the actual kettle pizza and check it with our infrared thermometer as well. So another 10 to 15 minutes and we'll be ready for pizza time. Okay guys, we're ready to throw our pizzas in. This thing is blazing hot. It's over 700. Let's see what it's registering with this guy. So the pizza stone is over 500. So that's fine. So clocking at 543. But you can see in the back, it is clocking, if it just lock in, over 650. It's like 640 right now. So it's heating up and we're good to go. We have really gorgeous looking pepperoni and mushroom with a little buffalo mozzarella, part skim. I like to do the part skim mozzarella and part buffalo, and that is going to be amazing. I use a little cornmeal to get it off the peel, and that works out awesome. One thing you do want to do if you use cornmeal is use some sort of brush, or not a brush, but I like to use this little pizza oven scraping tool to get the cornmeal off in between pizzas. So this first pizza will probably take around 5 minutes, maybe less. I'll spin it halfway through, and then we'll keep cranking on a few more pizzas. And in between pizzas, I'll just scrape off the residue of this. If you don't, you'll just get kind of a bitter taste on the bottom with kind of the cornmeal residue that kind of eventually builds up on there with a pizza or two. So if you're doing more than 2 pizzas, I definitely scrape off the peel for sure. I do it between every one at this point just to make sure they're tasty. And we're going to move this a little towards the front because the back definitely cooks a lot faster. So if we have it towards the front, I think generally it's just a little more evenly distributed. And we're pretty close to turning this guy here. It's looking really nice. Okay. All right, so pizza number 1 is pretty close. It's only been a few minutes at this point. It's looking nice and bubbly, so I think I'm going to pull this guy. That's pizza number 1. Okay, so we got pizza number 2, sausage and mushroom, also one of our family favorites. So throw this guy in there. Sticking them just a little bit. All right, got it on there successfully. So just one, it's getting pretty hot. So this one will probably only take a couple minutes. The front of the stone is reading about 5:30 right now. Okay, it's probably been about a minute. Let's see if we can spin this guy around. It's looking pretty close to done. Give another little spin. And it is really close. Okay, so we're pulling our second pizza off now. Nice bubbly top on that guy. And it's been less than 7 minutes for both of them with some space in between. So cooks them plenty fast. And generally this will keep going for about you could probably get almost an hour out of one cook. So you can cook a lot of pizzas. Let's check out the pizzas now. All right, so we got our good looking pizzas here. Let's go ahead and cut into these babies. Nice and crispy. Still kind of bubbly hot. It's plenty hot in there. So, beautiful looking pizzas. Very, very nice. And let's go ahead and give these two a taste test here. Okay, so let's talk about the dough and the pizzas. We use two different types of dough. The two that I really like, one is from the New York Times, Roberta's Pizza, if you Google it. I'll put links down below. Really good pizza, uses 00 flour. It's very easy to roll out, kind of push out and shape. So I like that one a lot. And the other one is from Peter Reinhardt's book called American Pie. I'll put the link down below for that as well. I've used these with the Uni pizza oven, which I did a review of. You can check that out if you're interested in other pizza ovens. And then it also worked really well for this oven as well. So both of those work really good in just outdoor pizza ovens in general. And let's check out the pizzas. So this one, nice and, this was the first one we put on here. This is Peter Reinhardt's dough. It's got a little more consistency to it, a little thicker, but you know, charred nicely, and the outside crust is pretty crispy. You can hear that, and then kind of a little doughy in the center. So really nice. The second pizza being the New York Times pizza, maybe a little more charred on the bottom, a little thinner throughout. It's easier to press out. So if you're new to this, it's probably easier to press out, but it's also a little more challenging to make. So both these have their drawbacks, but I would try either one of these. Try them both. They're wonderful. Once again, I'll put the links below. And both of these are quite delicious. As far as dough goes, in that oven, both worked really well. Sorry for eating in front of you. It's just time to dig in. So I'm gonna do business here. Then I'll give you my final recap here in a few minutes. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys, today. We had a great time making some great pizzas on the Kettle Pizza. This was the Deluxe Kettle Pizza Setup, which just comes with a few more items, a pizza peel, I think perhaps a pizza stone. It's around $200. I purchased it myself. They didn't give this to me by any means. I do like it a lot. What I really like about it is the fact that it stays hot and it doesn't get crazy hot. It seems like the stone wants to be somewhere around in the 650 range after you get the initial heat going on it and everything blazing, and makes for a really good crust. Pizzas cook fast, somewhere in the 3-minute range. What I'd say is probably the average, which is plenty fast. You can crank out a lot of pizzas. The temperature on this, it's been about, so now it's been around 50 minutes since we started cooking pizzas, and the temperature gauge is still reading above 550. Let's see what the stone is. And the stone is at 569. So it's still hot. So you get probably close to an hour of cooking pizzas in this from one fuel source. So I think the key is using those large chunks of lump charcoal, natural lump charcoal, hardwood. Fogo is the brand that I use. I've always been using it for a long time now, and I use it in the Big Green Egg or anything I do smoking with, because you get big chunks that last a long time, so the heat stays hot, stays high when you need it for a long time, or even the low and slow, you just get a better burn. So use that, and then adding those chunks of oak wood on top just give you one more fuel source to bump up the temperature to get things going and give you kind of like that natural fire, you know, that natural hardwood brick oven kind of taste to it. So I've done a review on the Uni 3 pizza oven. You can check that out if you want. It's another nice little oven that's low price. It's around $300. This is around $200 if you already have the Kettle pizza setup, or just the Weber Kettle setup, and then another $200 for the Kettle pizza setup for the one I reviewed. So both low price. Check out that review. My next video is going to be a comparison of these two models, just because I think they're kind of in the same market. You know, for somebody who just wants an entry-level outdoor pizza oven at a low price, they're both good options. But I'll tell you what I think about the two of them compared to each other. If you're going to get this, I would recommend getting this infrared thermometer. Just gives you peace of mind when you're throwing the pizza on there that it's hot and that it's going to give you good results. And then some sort of scraper. This is a Cuisinart scraper that I got on Amazon. I'll put the link down below. But something just to scrape this. Basically, you get a little junk on there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you just get this residue buildup from the cornmeal that I use to get it off the pizza peel. So these are about the only two other things that you need. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if you want to see the next video, which is going to be a comparison of the Uni 3 to the Kettle Pizza Deluxe. And you may or may not be surprised by the results. We'll see which one I pick. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Subscribe if you like it, and we'll catch you next time.